Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to Third Wave Trades. I've been out for a little while, guys. I was unable to make a video last week. I was really busy, but today I wanted to come back and do a update for you guys on Nvda, ticker symbol NVDA. The stock, as you guys can see, is really pushing right now. It's at $296. The market is still open, so there's still some room for it to run. You guys can see it's up $7 for the day. So I wanted to go over this basically and do a recap of what we said in our last video, what we were expecting for it to happen. It has broken above that 290 level, which is what I was saying would be a major resistance level. I did not see it getting to 300 on this wave up, but it looks like it can do that. So if that is the case, we have to take a look at what are some other possible scenarios on this wave count. As of right now, I think that what we said in the last video is still holding true, right? You know, you allow for a few dollars, give or take, when making these like price projections based off the wave count. Ultimately, I do think that what we said is still playing out. So we're gonna do a recap of what I said in the last video, the wave count, and how it's playing out right now, and then what I think is going to happen moving forward based off all of this new price action data. All right, guys, so before we get started, quick disclaimer: I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research and/or consult with a financial advisor before making any trading or investment decisions. Secondly, guys, if you could, please like the video if you guys find the content helpful, and please leave comments down below as to what tickers you guys want to see below. Also, if you guys could, please subscribe to the channel if you want to get more Elliot wave breakdowns on your favorite cryptos, stocks, and commodities. And really quick before we start, guys, I do want to thank all of you who have subscribed already. We're so close to 100 subscribers, and that really means a lot to me. So thank you guys for showing some love. Alright, guys, so let's get straight into the video. Let's go first with a recap of what we said in our last video, what we were expecting, and kind of see how that played out. So the bigger picture is that we said that back in October is where we started this new move up. We had a first wave, a second wave, and then essentially that we were in the middle of this third wave playing out. Now, I said that that could have been an ABC, but that was basically invalidated once we really got extended over here, more than the 161% extension of this wave 1. Right, so you guys can see that as of right now, we are like we're much more extended than this 161.8% retracement, which is why I was saying that this move did not look like an ABC. With another 5-wave move coming down, because of just how extended it was, that this was most likely a impulsive wave playing out. So I was saying that we could expect a 4th and a 5th in this move up. Now that is still holding true. So in terms of the actual wave count itself, we took this as a 1, 2, and this was a very extended third playing out. Now there were other possibilities. We could have taken this as like a 1, 2, and then this would be the large degree third, large degree fourth, and then this being a 5th playing out. I just didn't like how that would look in terms of like the disparity between this 4th wave correction and the 2nd wave correction. It's still a possibility. I just don't like that, because also then this extension compared to this is not what we would expect for a normal third wave. So in terms of like probabilities, I think that it's a lot more probable that this is a first wave, second wave of a larger degree, third wave of a larger degree still playing out, and then we'll get a large degree 4th pullback, and then 5th. All right, so I think that still is the case, and I think that we are nearing the end of our third wave, because now if we take a look at the third wave, the count that I had was we had a first wave, a second wave, a third wave, a 4th wave, and then this whole thing as an extended 5th wave playing out, which you guys can see I have drawn up over here as a first wave, second wave, a third wave over here, a 4th wave, and then we were basically in this 5th wave move playing out, so the 5th of our 5th wave extension. And that looks like it is still happening right now. So you guys can see we had a first wave, second wave, third, 4th, and now we look like we are topping out on this fifth wave. So ultimately, guys, I think that what is happening right now is, it's not that big of a deal. It did break that 290 level. Previously, we broke it. We hit 292, came back, and now we are at 296. I think we touched 297 today, but it's starting to pull back now. And I think that ultimately that this move is going to be complete. Could it run to $300? Yes, it could. It could get rejected there. It could push. I don't think it will push much higher than 300, to be honest with you, um, because it looks like what's forming in this five wave sequence right here is a ending diagonal for this fifth wave, and I think that will lead to a sharp and steep retracement um, for this fourth wave. All right. If you guys take a look at the stochastics, sorry, not the stochastic. If you guys take a look at the RSI, you guys can see over here that basically we have a momentum divergence, right? We have some bearish divergence happening over here. So you guys can see basically from the top of this third wave move, we've been making higher highs in our price action, but the RSI has been making consecutively lower highs, right? And we're still doing that even as we're breaking 296, 297. Price action is going higher. We are actually making lower highs on the RSI. So that screams bearish divergence, and that tells me that we are going to get a pullback really soon. Because essentially what that means, guys, when you see that bearish divergence, it's really that the stock is like, it's running on fumes at that point. It's running on E. You know, we're traveling further, but we're running out of gas to get there, essentially. So at some point, this divergence is going to become too extreme, and then once it does, we are going to get that sharp pullback. And again, because this is an ending diagonal, which looks like it's playing out as ending diagonals, always lead to sharp pullbacks as well. All right, so essentially, in Elliot wave terms, what we call an ending diagonal is really just what other technical analysts would call a like rising wedge, right? So like from the rising wedge, you get a breakout. Uh, so as it plays out in this rising wedge, you get that breakout to the downside, and then you ultimately end up pulling back lower. So that's what I think is playing out, guys. I don't think that our account is wrong as of yet, or is necessarily invalidated. I think this is still playing out as such, and then we can get a fourth wave correction coming soon. So my real question then would be, where could this fourth wave extension, well, first would be, where do we think that this is going to pull back at? Like I said, most likely the 300 level. It's a psychological level, and as you guys can see, we've had previous resistances over here. So I would say anywhere from 300. You guys can see we have 304, 310 up here, but I don't think we'll get that high. I think 300 will provide pretty strong resistance. So anywhere from 300 to 304, I would look for a pullback, and I think basically when we see, I would be looking for some sort of like reversal, bearish reversal candle, right? So like a shooting star or a engulfing bearish candle, something like that, to signal a reversal, and then I would know that basically this move is over, and then we're going to get the pullback. Now, in terms of where the pullback can happen, there are a couple of targets or factors that we can use to come up with a target, and one of them is, the most obvious would be the fib retracement tool, right? So if we use the fib retracement tool, we're going to want to apply it from the bottom of the second wave to the top of the third. Now I'll allow for a few more dollars. Because we hit 297, I'll allow for 300 for right now. And let's say we top out at 300, then we're looking at a level of $238, which would be 38.2% retracement, which is the most likely scenario for a fourth wave retracement, right? To come back to. The other possibility is the 50%, so anywhere within this range, between the 38.2% and the 50%, retracement zone is where we would expect it to come back. Now, the other thing is this green channel that I have drawn over here, um, which we use to determine a fourth wave pullback also, because usually a fourth wave will always um, most of the time it will touch this channel and bounce off of it. Now this channel is drawn from the origin of the move to the bottom of the second wave, right, applied to the top of the first, right, and extended all the way out. So essentially what we're looking for is something like this. This gives another possibility that we could get like a flat sort of correction where we touch the top of this fourth, or we could even get something like a triangle, right, A, B, C, D, E play out before we move higher, in which case, again, this channel top would be the target. The last thing that we can use, guys, and this is kind of like in this special scenario, is that when we have an extended fifth wave move like this, right? So this third wave is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this extended fifth. A lot of times, the target will be um, this second wave of the extended fifth wave, right? So the second wave of the lesser degree is usually where we can expect price to drop back to. So somewhere like around this level over here is where we can expect price to drop back at. So in this case, where instead of a possible top of this channel, we could use the middle line of this channel, which would correlate with around this level as well, the second wave of the lesser degree. All right, I'll put up a couple of pictures that kind of show how exactly that looks and how that works, but it's pretty standard in the Elliot wave literature. It's something that's very common. Extended fifth waves normally pull back to that second wave of the lesser degree. All right, so those are like basically like target areas that I'm looking at, somewhere around this level, which is 220 to, I guess we could say 250. I know it's a pretty big target, but it really all just depends on how this correction takes place. I'm leaning more for a steeper retracement just because of how extended this move is and because of this fifth wave extension, and because of the fact that this is an ending diagonal, which usually lead to steeper retracements. All right, so I do think that that is what's going to play out. I think that this move is coming to an end soon with Nvda. You know, at least I can count 5 waves being complete on my end. The other thing that we can actually use, well, yeah, before we get there, I just want to say that I think that this move is still my primary count, and that is most likely coming to an end soon based off of the bearish divergence that we're seeing, right? Possibly hit 300 and get rejected, because you guys can see we're less volume, right? We're not getting there as strong. The price action is going higher. We're getting lower highs on the RSI and different momentum indicators. So I think a pullback is coming really soon. All right, so look, you guys can see we're at $297. It's still moving up right now. But ultimately I do expect that pullback to come. All right, so now let's say that that's not the case. Let's say we actually break 300 and this thing keeps running. In that case, then a, a strong break above 300, right, with volume, if volume comes, then I would have to change my account, and I would have to say that basically this is a lot more bullish than we anticipated at first. And what would my count be then? Well, I would still keep this obviously as the first wave down here, right? And then this is our second wave, and then this third wave is just probably far more extended, right, than we thought. In which case, how high can it go before we pull back? Well, one thing that I would be looking at then would be using the extension tool, right? Usually we expect a 161.8% extension for a third wave. Now, you guys can see we're above that. So if we break above $300, like I said, with volume, then what the possibility is that, I mean, the next target that I would be looking at is the 261.8%. And it's very possible, guys, that this third wave in and of itself will reach $350, right? My previous video, I said that I didn't think we would reach it on the third wave. I thought we would get a fourth wave, and then we would come back stronger with a fifth wave, and we would reach a target around the $350 area. But if this third wave continues to show a strength, and obviously volume has to be there, um, that would be the next target, right? If this is a more bullish move than we originally anticipated. I'm still not leaning there yet, especially the way that this is playing out. It looks like an ending diagonal, but on the chance that it does, then that would be our target. And then our internals for this wave count would have to be altered as well, right? Then it would probably be something like uh, this whole move was a first wave. This is the third wave, right? And we will get a fourth wave move somewhere or over here, right? So these are the internals of the larger degree third. This whole move was a first wave. This was a second wave. And then this was our extended third of third. That's been playing out. Then we'll get a sideways fourth, right? We'll still get this pullback over here, but this will be a fourth and of a lesser degree, and then we'll get a fifth. That could take us up to there, and then we'll get this larger degree fourth wave move and then fifth wave move, right? So it kind of like it's a more bullish move, right? Because then we're going a lot higher than originally anticipated. Like I said, I always like to err on the side of caution. So and just be a little bit more conservative in my call outs, but at some point, you have to go along with what the price action is showing you. And if this shows a much more bullish move, then that's how we will change our wave count accordingly. All right, guys. So that's basically what I see for right now. So just quick recap. I do think that this is still the end of the third wave playing out. That's my most likely scenario. This looks like an ending diagonal, could be ending soon. I'm looking for 300 to provide some resistance as it's a psychological level. There is bearish divergence on the RSI, so I do anticipate that reversal coming soon. And then we're looking for we'll get more into the price target of the fourth once that happens. But if we break above $300 and we start to see more volume coming in, that divergence basically gets eliminated that we're looking at on the RSI over here, right? Like, so in other words, if the RSI ends up going higher, right, as price action is going higher above 300, and we no longer have this divergence playing out anymore, then like I said, then we will change our count and basically anticipate a much larger third wave target before we get that fourth wave pullback. But right now, the divergence is still there, so I'm still leaning towards a pullback coming sooner rather than later for this larger degree fourth wave. All right, guys, I hope that made sense. I know there's a lot to unpack over there, but essentially it's just two scenarios at the moment. Either this larger degree third wave is coming to an end and we're going to get a strong pullback, or a break above 300 with volume and eliminating this bearish divergence, and we can reach a level of, I would say, around $340, $350 within this third wave move. All right, and I'll keep updating you guys on this as this is playing out because it's such a strong move. So be sure to check back in, guys, as I update it. All right, so that's all I got for now. If you guys liked the video, if you guys found the content helpful, please hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't so far. We're on our journey to reach 100 subscribers before we can start doing live trading, which I'm really looking forward to doing with you guys. So if you can, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back with more. Peace.